Yeah, I'll just trying to think where to start, but I became a Christian when I was 19. I've had many wilderness experiences. Been involved in some big churches, been pushed out of churches because of my gifting. It's only been since really Alice and I have met Pete and Poss, and you know we've been involved with Brad and that I can actually see where my purpose is now. I was involved, and I'm happy to say it, I was involved in the tail race centre. We've actually planted a church out of there. I was instrumental in that down the coast. A fantastic couple of people. And God said to me at the tail race, He gave me a prophetic word 6 months before I left. And I gave it to them, and it was God, it was fire, like it was the biggest word I'd ever given. And it was to leadership, and they just basically ignored it. And so what happened was, I walked out the door that morning, it was 6 o'clock in the morning, I gave the word, I walked out the door, God said to me, sit down and shut up. Basically said, sit on your hands and shut your mouth. That was it. I never said another word there. Left there, went to Victoria, went travelling for 5 or 6 years, probably 7 years. That's how God works, I think. Spent 7 years travelling, arguing, fighting, not arguing with God, but fighting with myself about what my job was, you know. Come back to Tassie, got divorced 12 months later. My whole world fell to pieces. That was all very difficult, but I still always sensed God in my life. I never had a doubt about that. I made lots of mistakes, but then I thought I want to go back to church somewhere. I really want to be involved in the church. And it was very difficult because I thought there was nothing in Launceston I wanted to go near. I didn't want to be involved in it. So the church that I'd helped plant down the coast, I thought, well, I'll start going there. You know, they're good, really good people, you know. And I went there for a few months, you know. I used to go, Alison and I'd go, or take people along, and God's saying to me all the time I'm there, you don't fit here, you don't fit here. You're not meant to be here, you don't fit here. But I kept going, I've just been stubborn. So what happened in the end was I went down there one day, and it was the saddest thing I've ever seen. I went into this church, and here's all these people sitting in this church with masks on. Oh, and I went and sat right in the middle of the church, no mask. I wasn't wearing a mask. No way in the world was I wearing a mask. And there's probably 120 of them sitting there. They're all wearing masks. And God said, I told you don't fit here. And that was my last time, one of the last times. I went back one more time. That was one of the last times I ever went there, because I thought this is it's disgraceful. So my wilderness experiences have been generally 7 years. I was 9 years old when God spoke to me the first time. I was 19 when I became a Christian. I've had periods when I left ND. I had probably seven years then, 7 years now, and you know, now I understand what God's called me to do. And it's what you said today, Pete, it's probably one of the best talks I've ever heard you say. You know, speak from the heart, tell the truth about what really goes on. So I'd just like to encourage everyone that it's difficult. You know, it's sometimes you just go, what am I doing? Where are you, God? You know He's there, but you really battle with some of this stuff. And I've learnt now that the safest place for Christians is actually out of the church, listening to God. Yeah. And if Christians knew that, the world would be a different place. Because churches are dangerous places. They are very dangerous places. You get controlled, you get manipulated, you get used and abused. And when you don't play the game their way, out the door. You know, they don't want to hear what God wants to do. They want to hear what man wants to do, and they want to manipulate you and control you. So, yeah, that's my story. And I just think I just encourage you, if you're in the wilderness or you're feeling like you're in the wilderness, just keep on kicking through it. Yeah. Because eventually you get through. You know, what psalm is it? You know, Psalm 23 says we're going to go through the valley. So be it, get in there, you know, but we come out of it. But it can be difficult. It can be very lonely, like you said, Pete. And that's been my struggle. It's been very lonely. But if you've got a few good Christian people around you, which we have now, it's a lot easier. So thank you very much for that.
Good on you.